Hmm. I think I'm missing two. Oh. Yeah.
This is where you find the first half of Sam's Locker, or I guess it's actually the second half of Sam's Locker combo as far as what the piece of paper is. But at first, there were the locker combination sheet was torn into three pieces. So you had one digit on each of them, and it was actually right before we sent out our IGF build to the judges. It was the night before, and Carla came down in the basement and she was like, at 3 o'clock in the morning last night, I woke up in bed just being like, "Oh, we can't have it in three pieces. That's way too gamey. Well, that's bad. We have to fix that." And
I forgot about that.
and you were absolutely right. And you've had a couple of those
Yeah.
being woken up by us making a bad decision kind of moments over the course of the development, and they were always important changes that needed to be made.
At Todd's brother's place after the show, there was only a futon to sleep on, so Lonnie and I shared it. The lights went out. I was turned toward her. My eyes started to adjust, and then I could see she was looking at me, too. In the dark, she smiled. My heart was beating so fast. I rolled over. I felt so, I don't know, nervous. After a minute, she put her arm around me and was so close and whispered in my ear, "I really like you." I just nodded my head, and I really hoped she could tell. You know that feeling where the first moment you see someone, it's like they have a big gold star around them, and you have to get to know them? Well, there's this girl. I think she's a senior. She's usually dressed kind of punk, but sometimes I see her in this, like, army uniform, and she's always drawing in this notebook, looking so intense. I had no idea how I would ever, like, have an excuse to talk to her. Till I noticed she and her friends hang out and play Street Fighter at the 7-Eleven every day after school.
Mm-hmm. I'm just checking everywhere, all around the house to make sure if I got all of them, all of these documentaries. Just making sure.
asked Lonnie what she had to do to get ready to ship out for basic training. She said, not a lot, really. You're not allowed to bring anything with you. You have no possessions, no contact with the outside world while you're in basic. You just train hard every day, and then you deploy from there. So, they'll just send her away. To who knows where. The other side of the country? The other side of the world? My mind, can't process it. She's really going to be gone. Just gone.
Ah, here we go.
Really early on, I thought it would be something that I thought would be engaging about Gone Home would just be finding notes and scraps in unexpected places and being able to zoom in really far and find something that's tucked away in someone's pocket or whatever. And yeah, finding a note that was in someone's pocket that had gone through the dryer, I thought would just be a cool image. And so we were always going to do this, and we ended up making it this specific note from Lonnie to Sam, which it wasn't this for a long time.
Yeah, we had a few different go-rounds.
It was the one that's in the garbage can in the garage was here for a long time, and this one didn't exist, and there was no note in the garbage can in the garage. But yeah, I think that this note, this is I think the last note that went into the game.
It was really late.
And the last new content, that went into the game, because we did our final pre-release playtest, and there were people that were kind of I felt like Lonnie's decision came out of nowhere at the end, and I was like, why is that? And I think it's because Lonnie had never gotten to say her piece,
Right.
and never gotten to have that moment of saying, I wish things were different and I want to be with you and I don't want to have to go away. But we've just made the assumption that that's how it's got to be. To give you some context for her, when she actually had to confront it, saying you know what, I can't live with it being that way. And so this was her chance to speak just from her own perspective about why she felt like she had no choice in the matter. And then what she was deciding against when she changed her mind when she finally had to ship out.
I had an interesting talk with Mom and Dad tonight. One you were never gonna need to have. I mean, you've known, right? I've known. I've known since, She-Ra. Mom and Dad didn't, I guess. But they saw the zine and the stuff on the locker, and they were like, is there something we should know about you and Lonnie? And so here's the thing. I was prepared for them to be mad, or disappointed, or start crying, or something. But they were just in denial. You're too young to know what you want. You and Lonnie are just good friends. You just haven't met the right boy. It's a phase. That's what I didn't see coming. That they wouldn't even respect me enough to believe me. Well, joke's on them, because they're in for one very long phase.
can't seem to find any more documentaries.